I've been in conversations where I'll go to a creator meetup or whatever, and within 15 seconds, someone will ask me for my Instagram, which is already weird. It just seems like weird to go from, hey, what's your name? What's your Instagram?
Right.
And then they'll look at it and the whole like demeanor of the conversation will change based on their like looking at my Instagram.
They'll look at your followers. How many followers do you have? And then they'll judge you and me. Oh, wait, this guy's, not big. Or, whoa, you have over 100,000 followers? Okay, I'll talk to you, and it's kind of a weird status thing. It's probably a weird ego sort of thing too.
But another interesting phenomenon that I've had is I've had people who have millions of followers show me their Instagram in LA, but it doesn't represent them, so they'll feel the need to clarify something. They'll be like, oh, what's your Instagram? And I'll show them mine, and they'll show me theirs, and I'll see 1 million followers, but they make dance videos on TikTok, and they'll be like, by the way, I make dance videos, don't worry about it. Right, it's like they feel this need to clarify it, and that's where I come in with the soul wealth perspective is I don't want to create content that I will play the game. And I know that my Instagram is a resume, but I don't want to create content where I feel like I need to justify it to other people, because then what it's saying is that that's not me.
Right.
And I don't want to do anything that's not me. But I find it interesting too, on the other hand, where we'll look at people with lots of followers or subscribers, and we'll think that we'll put them on a pedestal. We'll think, oh, that person has too many followers to associate with me. Mm-hmm. Or they have, like I had a friend who just did an interview with FaZe Rug, and I was like, oh, have you texted him since? And he's like, nah, like I don't want to overstay my welcome. And to a degree, I agree with him. But to another degree, I'm like, we just assume that these people with followers have a ton of friends because they have followers.
Yeah, right.
But some of them are the most lonely people on earth. And I think it's because of that phenomenon, where it's because they feel unapproachable by the average person.
Yeah.
And they're not constantly hanging out with other famous people. They have their small group. And I think that actually isolates a lot of those people.
Definitely. I think I can relate, and I see it with Kelly.
Yeah.
I've been able to get a very firsthand experience of watching him really, explode and grow, and like all of a sudden, he's getting stopped at airports. Yeah. Anywhere in public we go, he'll get stopped. Him and Ashley will just get stopped and say, oh, can we get a picture? And it's crazy for us to see because people are putting him up on that pedestal.
Yeah.
And I think it was tough for him around the time I used to live with him in Long Beach. Yeah. And then he went off to Arizona to get like his college experience for about a year. And then he went to New York, and that's where, like, in New York, he was really, I think, and even throughout that process, looking for his group.
Yeah.
His group of friends that he can rely on, he can kind of share his passions with, and not feel like, oh, now, you're the big influencer, like, people are walking on eggshells around him. But yeah, now, I mean, he's like any other person, just a human, and you don't need to treat them that differently. And if anything, they don't want you to, like, they don't want you to just be like a fan. They're looking for genuine connections, right?
It's so funny because on this podcast, I've had a few opportunities to interview people with big followings, and I always treat them how I would treat my other guests, which is, if the goal is relationships and memories, if that's how I define success, then I'm not waiting for the amount of views, the amount of likes this podcast gets to determine successful. It's, did we create a relationship, and will this be a memory?
Right.
So a relationship isn't a one-time thing, and I don't call all 50 of my podcast members, but
right.
But I FaceTime people, and there's been guests who have lots of big followings, and I'll just FaceTime them, and they answer, and we're like friends now. And I'm like, dude, all I did was not treat them like this pedestal. But just so the audience has context, because I want them to be filled in, he has a little brother, Kelly Wakasi, you might know him, who is, I would say he's a really big time YouTuber now. And you've gotten to watch his life.
Yeah.
He's grown up, and that's an interesting perspective to have someone in your family that's famous. has it opened your eyes to anything in your own career of like, damn, maybe I wouldn't want to be famous, or I should think about this? What have you learned?
Definitely. I mean, I've seen, he handles it really, really well.
Yeah.
He loves his community. He loves the message, his message, do it excites.
Yeah.
And that's really spread and, touched people across the world. And so he's able to go and do these meetups in, LA or New York or India, wherever it is. He'll have a following, which for me, it's crazy. But I also saw how quickly he kind of got, not quickly, because it did take him a while to get up to where he is now. But now he's going to these big events with big time celebrities.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Kelly's like really, really famous yet. Like, he's still small in that sort of realm. But it's helped me realize these people are within reach, especially in social media. Like you said, you can just FaceTime them, you can reach out to them, you can get right into their inbox, and not everyone's going to respond. But for me as an artist, I can hopefully use that to collab with bigger people and grow.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how he really, really started taking off, is when he started collabing with other creators.